We were also led to believe before AVI was chosen that they would respect the workers' union that they had.
Excited about today. We might get union recognition, which has been, it's been a really big struggle for us all year. We came from having a company that said they would no way recognize this union. They were very anti-union. They were not going to even budge a bit. They were going to try and make us go through an NLRB election, which would have taken months and could have been delayed for years. And through student pressure and worker pressure and delegations, we managed to get them to sign a card check neutrality agreement, which is really great. Kind of proves how much student pressure and worker pressure can do. So it's really exciting that we're probably going to get a verified union today and then work on a contract. So the union came in, and the process is basically they had some initial meetings with the workers and talk about priorities, and they set up a committee, which is supposedly a group of workers who represent kind of the vast majority of workers, and they're responsible for getting inputs from other workers about what their opinions are on certain aspects of the negotiation process, and also disseminating information about meetings and what's going on with the union, keeping everybody up to date. So there were initial meetings like that, and SLC Worker Justice, which is a group of students and teachers and workers who had been, kind of united for a long time before that, were kind of allowing the union to have a little bit of space and figure out how they were going to figure out their organizing strategy and how they were going to work that campaign. And so we went to the meetings and we talked to the workers and presented ourselves to the union, who we are in a relationship with because we helped bring them in. It all seemed pretty good for a while. Once the negotiations started, there were some issues that started to pop up with union democracy and priority setting. The lead organizer on the campaign from the union was really gun-ho about healthcare. Okay, so yeah, the negotiations. There's seniority and payment layoff is one category. Then there's the wage rates, which you can look at. Let me pass this around. Company says 15, 15, 20. So no budge on that there. So effectively nothing went anywhere today.
We have to get out there and start making some noise, or else these negotiations are going to go nowhere. You know what I mean?
I mean, and I think, not to get confused, I think most people, if not everybody in this room, is absolutely willing to fight right now. I have no, as some upper-class white kid from, Salt Lake City, who am I to, come in and tell these workers what their priority is, or try to represent them when they haven't told me what their priority is?
Almost every worker I've talked about, the only thing that they seem to care about is getting treated well in the workplace. That's the daily thing. Why is that not being dealt with? It's on the front lines making demands about healthcare. Who of the workers is doing that?
I mean, the committee, the negotiating committee.
Are they?
That is true. Yeah. The negotiating committee, I to be honest, I can't speak for every single one of them individually, but they definitely, when Gilbert says, "Are you concerned about healthcare?" they say yes. I can't say that going into it initially that was their number one concern. I think they feel like there's a possibility that they could win it.
This is my personal opinion. I'm not trying to say this is a group opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no qualms with getting forcefully behind healthcare as a central issue.
Yeah.
I think I would be more comfortable with it if there was more of a show of democracy within the union. If I thought that there had been a lot of communication within the different groups of workers and those natural leaders that come out.
traditionally, like, students at Sarah Lawrence have been involved with the workers. A few years ago, I don't think any of us remember this, there was a campaign to get a living wage for the Flick workers. And so I feel like there's been a constant involvement with the workers on campus. And this year, it's definitely picking up. I think we're meeting weekly, and it's gaining momentum. And the students who have been involved so far are working really hard to help these workers get whatever they need.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Monica. What do you want me to say?
What are we doing?
Right now we're just making some pamphlets to hand out with some information about worker justice.
How's
Just trying to get
been
people
going?
involved, escalate the struggle.
And only student and worker pressure can move things. I hate things.
Should we stop with this whole thing now and be like, this is how you can get involved and only you can make a difference?
Yeah, I like the with there.
With to fight for workers' rights.
The to fight. I like how you have a bunch of exclamation points.
Thanks.
And there she has.
Are the students directly involved in taking it, or is this generated only? Or is this
We're an independent group of students. We work closely with the union because the workers chose to unionize. But we take our orders directly from the workers, and we actually work with the workers to hold the union responsible for anything that they might be doing wrong. So we're an independent group.
I'm gonna watch you sniff for one.
Do you guys know anything about the ABI workers struggle on campus? So, you read this? Yeah. Have you read the pamphlet? Okay. Right now, they're in the middle of negotiating with the company for union contracts that would help them, basically make sure that the workplace conditions improve and they get fair wage increases and, basically pretty good benefits. And they need a lot of student support. The administration is taking kind of a hands-off approach and pretending it's not their problem. So if you guys are interested in getting involved, we're like a coalition of faculty and students and workers who work together. Otherwise, just keep it in the back of your mind. If you know any of the workers, talk to them about it, make friends with them, and just, be supportive. Thanks.
Cool, thank you.
It's not like we're paying them. We're not paying them a livable salary right now if we don't include free healthcare. And I don't understand how us as a college can be okay with treating members of our community and not giving them livable wages.
So change your business model or something so that people who are working for you are actually benefiting from it, not suffering from it.
I mean, they serve us every day, and they do a great job, and they do it with, we built friendships with them, and they are so much a part of our community. And a lot of them have families, and it's not particularly, they don't have the best wages, and so, to have to pay $95 for health insurance for their families every week is near impossible for most of these workers. And so that means that, a lot of them can't take their kids to the doctor when they're sick, or if they do, that means they can't buy groceries for the week. And when we're going to a school where most of us come from, a background where I don't think we can even comprehend that kind of choice, having to make that choice, I think it's very important that we support these workers in their struggle for health care, not to mention, a great retirement plan and regular and fair wage increases.